Remember when Nickelodeon was both badass and uncucked enough to show children the fall of Saigon during a Christmas special of all things? Hey everyone, it's the Koopa Man. Nickelodeon's Nicktoons used to be pretty damn good, didn't they? Sure, we still have SpongeBob SquarePants for better or worse, and they still have Avatar in syndication, but we used to have shows like Rocko's Modern Life, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and of course my favorite, Hey Arnold. Created by Craig Bartlett, a friend of Matt Groening, Hey Arnold is one of those cartoons like Batman Animated or Animaniacs that age like fine wine. The older you get, the more brilliant it becomes. With episodes like Helga on the Couch, Arnold's Thanksgiving, Harold's Kitty, Pigeon Man, or The Stoop Kid, Hey Arnold was not afraid of making its characters deeper and more complex than your traditional children's show. This show is about a kid named Arnold who lives in Hillwood City, which is based on Seattle, with his grandma and grandpa in a boarding house they run. He goes to PS 118 and is in the 4th grade class of Mr. Simmons. Originally it was Miss Slovak, but the character was retired after one season. Some of his friends and classmates include Gerald Johannesson, his best friend, who's a keeper of urban legends and has a really tall high-top fade, Harold Berman, a tough, obnoxious bully who has a sweet, sensitive side under his tough, flabby exterior, Rhonda Lloyd, the rich, snobby girl with a heart of gold, Phoebe Heyerdahl, the class brainiac who's a bit of a doormat but is under the protection of her best friend, and arguably the second most important character in the show, Helga Pataki. To say Helga is one of the more complicated characters in animated history is an understatement. Some would say she's a Western tsundere, but that would be underselling what she is, and a gross oversimplification. Everything about Helga has a reason when you see her family life and how the world around her reacts to her, but we can save that for another time. For now, what I'll say is Helga is the deuteragonist of the series in most episodes, including this one, being as important if not more so than Arnold at times. Other characters include Arnold's grandparents, Phil and Gertie, both of whom are awesome in their own way, Oscar, his Eastern European neighbor who wears down even on Arnold's good nature and patience, Arnie Potts, a stout man based on Danny DeVito who sees Arnold like the son he doesn't have and works as a demolition chief, Big Bob and Miriam Pataki, while flawed as parents and as people, do have their moments where you see they aren't evil and irredeemable, and of course the focus of today's episode, Mr. Wynn. Arnold's caring and empathetic nature allows him to make many friends in his peer group and among various adults in his town. The show isn't always about him, but he's even likable enough that we do care about him when he is the focus. He's just a good kid with a good heart, which is a great metaphor for the show itself. A good show with lots of heart. But the Christmas special in particular stands out, even among many Nicktoons Christmas specials. Airing on December 11, 1996 as the Christmas special for the first season of the show, this is Arnold's Christmas. Starting during Christmas break, Helga and Phoebe are walking around town talking about their favorite things about Christmas, to which Helga replies with such materialistic commercialism that you know she's Big Bob's daughter. She then tells Phoebe about the new Nancy Spumoni snow boots that she's been hinting at her parents to get her, which Rhonda exposits are flying off the shelves all over town. Meanwhile, Arnold and Gerald are finishing up their Christmas shopping, after Gerald just buys everyone a necktie. Arnold tells him that presents need to be personal and special and tell the person what they think of them. Helga then sees Arnold and goes off privately about how much she hates him, and also loves him. Yeah, that's the thing about Helga. She's outwardly a bully towards Arnold, and towards others as well, but is secretly in love with him because he's one of a few people who's unconditionally nice to her. She usually tries to go out of her way to get over her outward gruff bullying nature to get his attention, but it fails every time. At least until the finale movie. Anyway, back to the plot. Later that evening at Arnold's boarding house, the boarders are getting ready to pick their names for their annual Secret Santa, with Oscar stuffing the bowl with his name, which he tries to play off as a joke. The real drawing is had, and Arnold draws Mr. Wynn, who is usually depressed at this time of year. He goes to Gerald about it, who, of course, recommends to get him a tie, but that isn't Arnold's style. Arnold decides to try to go to Wynn himself and talk to him to get an idea out of him, which leads to this scene, which, damn the copyright system, I got the clip off YouTube. I'll gladly get this video sent to Rumble only to show it.
Yes, this time of year always make me remember.
Remember what?
It was a long time ago, Arnold. A very complicated story.
I'd like to hear it. Please tell me.
Many years ago, I lived in another country, far away. I was a young man with a family, a beautiful baby girl. I called her Mai. I was the luckiest man in the world. At night, I used to dream about our future together, to watch my grow up and go to school, to see her be happy. But there was a trouble in my country. There was a war in the north, and every day the fighting was coming closer and closer. I knew this would not be a good place for my child to grow up. I could not keep her safe, maybe not even have enough food for her to eat. So I decided we must try to get out. We must try to find a better life. Everyone was trying to get out. Everywhere there was confusion. Somehow I got through. The only way out of the city was by helicopter. There were too many people. I begged the soldier, please take us. Help us find a new life. But he could not. He said there was only room for one of us. Then I had to make the most difficult decision of my life. I knew I had to do the best thing for Mai. I knew if I gave Mai to the soldier, they would take care of her. They would find a home for her. And then, as soon as I could, I would get out of the country and find her again. As the helicopter left, the soldier called out the name of a city. This city. He said he would bring her here.
You had to get rid of the soldier. You were saving her life.
Yes.
And you've never seen her since?
No. It took me 20 years until I could finally get out of the country. That's why I came to this city. I believe she is here somewhere, but I have not been able to find her. Sometimes it is so difficult. I almost give up hope. But I never stop thinking about her. I will never stop trying. I would give anything to see her again, to know that she is happy.
And in case that heartbreaking scene has to get cut, I'll repeat what just happened. Long ago, Mr. Wind lived in southern Vietnam with his daughter Mai. He was a very happy man then, and he dreamed of watching her grow up and go to school. However, he lived in Vietnam during and after the Vietnam War. After the Americans were forced by activist pressure to withdraw, the southern Vietnamese forces were on their own and were being fought further and further south of the established border every passing day. Eventually, the NVA and Viet Cong terrorists were at the capital of Saigon, executing men and raping women and children as they went, as communist forces were wont to do. Win and Mai make it to the U.S. Embassy during Operation Frequent Wind when the United States evacuated for good. The soldiers were reluctant to take anyone, but one of them has pity on them and takes Mai to be raised in America in safety. He shouts to Win the name of the city he's from, so when he can make it out, he can come find them. And it takes 20 years to get out. Fuck Jane Fonda. May she burn in hell with 1,000 swords of fire going up her whore ass. Hey, look everyone, it's the Great Gonzalez! Merry Christmas! Oh, right, Christmas. Back to the special then. Helga is at the store trying to buy a present for Arnold to try to break the ice with him and thinks a skateboard is the way to go. Too bad he already has one just like it. Meanwhile, Arnold and Gerald go to the Federal Office of Information to find someone who can help them track down Mai, but the only man working there is Mr. Bailey, and he's very stressed out and pessimistic about the whole deal. They strike a deal with him to do his Christmas shopping for him in exchange for him helping them find Mai. They manage to pick up every item on the list except for one, a pair of Nancy Spumoni signature snow boots, to which every clerk in town laughs them out the door. Anyone else having flashbacks to Jingle All the Way?
Where's your Christmas spirit? That's better.
Helga finds out about this and gets curious. Meanwhile, Arnold and Gerald get all the gifts to the guy except for the snow boots, and he's peeved that they forgot this crucial item, so he tells them the deal is off. It seems no matter how hard they tried, they came up short. Arnold is really disappointed he can't get Mr. Wynn the perfect Christmas present. Meanwhile, at the Pataki house, Miriam sees Helga come in and gives her an early Christmas present, the Nancy Spumoni snow boots. Helga is ecstatic because she got exactly what she wanted, but then the moral dilemma hits her. She got what she wanted, but it's the exact thing Arnold needs to make someone else's Christmas special. In a characteristic, heartwarming moment for the show, we see Helga give up her snow boots to Mr. Bailey and tries to tell him what Christmas is all about in an appeal to his baser humanity to do what he can to try to find Mai. At the boarding house later, Arnold thinks he will have to disappoint Mr. Wynn, telling him how he tried so hard and came up empty-handed when...
My. Can't believe it. My. Is it really you? Look at you. Everyone, this is my daughter.
Hello, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Wen.
Mai, trời bà nhớ con quá.
Well, I guess Mr. Wynn got his present after all.
Nhớ con.
I thought she was a Yuletide prankster.
What better time than Christmas for miracles, right? Arnold and Gerald can't believe it and sum it up to maybe Arnold having a Christmas angel watching over him. Cut to just outside where Helga, down to her socks after giving up her snow boots, says a silent Merry Christmas to Arnold, closing the episode. It's a beautiful Christmas special that really tugs at the heartstrings and shows just how brilliant of a show Hey Arnold is. It isn't just goofy antics and slapstick, though there is that from time to time, but it's about a real heart and emotion that can only be brought out by this brilliant writing. This special is usually aired around the holidays on Nick at Night and on the Teen Nick blocks on cable, but if you can't find it there, try on old Christmas Nickelodeon DVD and VHS collections. It's sure to be there. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. This has been the Koopa Man. Game on.